What's going on YouTube? Today we've got a very exciting Spyderco to look at. Let's do it. Okay, so welcome back everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and now you're ready to get back to watching some knife videos. So let's do this. As you now, I ruined the surprise with the title sequence, but what we have here is the Native 5 in fluted carbon fiber and s90v. Very distinctive model of the Native. And this is in fact a production model, or a production version of this model. It is not an exclusive and is not a sprint run. So you know, if these are out of stock right now, they slowly put these out. I don't think they, I don't think they're making tons of these just based on how infrequently they're in stock, but they're out there and they're available. I got this one from St. Nick's Knives on a Black Friday deal actually, for a great price. I don't know if that, I would doubt that those prices are still available now. But I can tell you they're probably still in stock if you're looking to get one. So definitely check those out. So yeah, let's jump into this here. So we got our Spyderco box. St. Nick's is awesome, and they always send, well, at least every time I bought from them, they send a really nice little microfiber pouch, which I just think is super cool. I like these kinds of things. But so here's our little guy. So right off the bat, when I first held this, I was actually very surprised. Well, not surprised because I expected it, but just I was impressed by how light this is. And that's largely attributed to obviously the carbon fiber, but the fact that there's no liners in this. It's just two solid hunks of carbon fiber, which is really cool. You don't always see that. I believe the Native Chief, the Sprint Run, is also two solid pieces of carbon fiber with no liner. I believe that. I haven't actually owned that one, but so very distinctive carbon fiber pattern here. Not your standard, lattice weave. What you have here is some surface etching, some surface patterning that they did to give it this, what they call fluted look, which I think is really cool. It gives it a lot of dimension. You can see how it kind of reflects the light. There's these lines that kind of radiate, in a fanning pattern, which look really cool. And not only is it really distinctive to look at, but it gives it more texture, a little bit more grip than you would get on your standard carbon fiber, which I think is a benefit for the overall function. So it's both fashionable and functional. So really cool there. That's really I think the main attraction to this knife. And then they just went ahead and put an absolute baller steel on there as well to kind of make it the whole package. So CPM s90v. Very excited to have that steel again back in the rotation. Not too long ago, I actually sold off my two carbon fiber and s90v Benchmades, largely because they were too long, for the legal limit for where I live, and I wasn't really using them. So I'm really glad to have replaced it with this, which is a 3-incher, so I can carry it every day. And I think this overall pairing that companies seem to really like to do is highly effective, and it's just a really good blend of handle material, look, and blade steel. And so s90v, if you're not totally aware, is a stainless steel, a little bit lower on the stainless scale compared to things like, especially like Magna Cut or M390, but it's still stainless nonetheless. And it's a stainless, and its main attraction is its just absolutely incredible edge retention. So there's a higher degree of vanadium in this particular steel, and so the vanadium likes to form very hard, wear-resistant vanadium carbides, which give it a lot of edge stability and wear resistance, right? So it's going to hold, a sharper edge for longer. And the thing is that I think is interesting is, so I read some data online that suggests that Spyderco hardens their s90v to about 60 or 61 HC. Now, I was thinking it would be a little bit higher initially, but then I did some reading and thought about it a little bit more, and it actually makes sense. Because you already have those really nice vanadium carbides in there, you actually don't need to harden the steel super, super hard in order to get excellent edge retention. In fact, if you harden it too much, it's very easy to tip the balance and make it extremely brittle. So I think, their decision to put it at around 60 is actually a really good one. And this steel has shown again and again to be an excellent performer on the edge retention. So really excited to have it again. This is now my only knife with s90v, so that's going to be a good one. Plus the carbon fiber, which just looks super cool. And of course, I really like the native overall. Ergonomics are excellent. You can hold it kind of in two ways. So one is the full handle grip, which I get a nice 4-finger grip on there with my sized hand. And like I always say, I love it when that clip groove cups my middle finger. It locks in and it feels super nice. And then the other grip that I like to hold the native with is the choke up. So I can put my pointer finger in the finger choil, thumb as always on the jimping, and they've got jimping on both sides, which is great. And it gives you a lot of control over that tip. So both ways, really comfortable. It's a good usable knife, and especially it's not excessively large, but I think it can really handle pretty much anything you're going to throw at it. Now, of course, this is not going to be like a huge yard work user for me. This is more of a EDC kind of daily, sort of daily task type knife, because it looks super nice and it's not like the toughest steel in the world. So there's that. But real quick, let's talk about action. So it drops shut pretty nicely as soon as I hit that back lock. So it's easy to one-hand close. It is definitely possible to flick, but you got to give it a lot of beef here to flick it open, to get, to overcome that back lock. So I probably won't do that all the time as much as I do with my Para 3. I think the best way is the nice, standard, reliable thumb. And it's got a really solid lockup, really satisfying opening, not extremely fidgetable. And for those viewers that like to rail on me for always talking about how nice and smooth my knives are and how easy they are to flick open and close, you can rest easy, because this is not a fidgeting knife. So there you go. Real quick, I want to just compare it to two other knives that I think are worth comparing so you can see. Para 3 is probably the most similar in size. And I've done a video in the past comparing the Para 3 to the native, and that was the native that I had in s90v and the teal FRN. But you can see the size. The overall shape is relatively similar. I mean, there's some differences in the blade shape, but I don't need to point them all out now because I already did it before. But size-wise, they're very similar. I think this particular native might be, oh yeah, it's about the same thickness. This one has a slight radius to it. It's not entirely flat, although it's close. And then the other one here is our Benchmade Valet. So pretty similar in size, although the handle on the native is a little bit longer, but not much. And these two, to me, kind of have a similar use. They're both very classy knives. Obviously, the Benchmade is a lot slimmer. It doesn't quite fill the hand as much. I like how the native really fills your hand more and still has that sort of smallish blade. So pretty cool there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this overview. Of course, this isn't a full review because this is the first day that I got this knife. But yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. I know Knife Center had these. I think a few other places did. If you just search carbon fiber native or fluted carbon fiber native, you'll be able to find it. But yeah, so really liking this guy so far. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.